You want to know the secret to completely changing your life? It's not some huge dramatic overhaul. It's actually something tiny. We're going to break down Atomic Habits by James Clear and see how the smallest changes can lead to, well, remarkable results. And right there, that's how the book starts. Not with a theory, but with an absolute catastrophe. See, the author James Clear, he wasn't just cooking up ideas in an office. He was forced to live this stuff. After a freak accident nearly took his life, he had to rebuild everything from scratch. And what he found out was that the secret wasn't some heroic, one-time effort. Nope, it was all about these small, consistent, you guessed it, atomic habits. Yeah, about to the face. That was the catalyst. It all started with an unbelievable challenge. And when I say severe, I mean severe. We're talking multiple skull fractures, 2 shattered eye sockets. He was in a medically induced coma, even had post-traumatic seizures. I mean, the road back to just a normal life, it looked pretty much impossible. But here's the thing. His recovery didn't happen in some big movie moment breakthrough. It happened step by tiny step. Thousands of them. Small habits, day in and day out, that just added up. And through all that pain, he stumbled upon the core secret of this whole thing. And that secret, it's all about the 1% rule and the surprising math behind these remarkable results. Okay, get ready for this, because the math is kind of mind-blowing. If you get just 1% better every single day, it doesn't sound like much, right? But over a year, you end up 37 times better. But, and this is the scary part, if you get 1% worse each day, you basically end up at 0. Every choice you make is compounding, whether you like it or not. So why is it so hard to stick with things? Why do we always give up? Well, Clear has a name for this. He calls it the plateau of latent potential. You know that feeling, right? You're putting in the work, you're going to the gym, but you look in the mirror and nothing. It feels like it's all for nothing. Think about it like this. You've got an ice cube and the room is, say, 25 degrees. You start heating it up. 26, 27, 30, 31 degrees. You're putting in all this effort. But what do you see? Still just a block of ice. It looks like nothing is happening. But then you hit 32 degrees and bam, that one little degree unleashes a massive change. The ice starts to melt. See? Your work was never wasted. It was just being stored up. The breakthrough always comes. It's just the result of all that work you did when it felt like nothing was happening. So, okay, how do we actually get to that breakthrough? Clear says it's a huge mindset shift. It's about forgetting your goals and instead building your identity, focusing on who you want to become. This quote right here is a game changer. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Think about it. Winners and losers often have the exact same goals. The real difference, it's the system, the daily process they actually follow. So here's the switch you have to make. Stop thinking about the outcome. The goal isn't run a marathon. The identity is become a runner. The goal isn't read 20 books. The identity is become a reader. Once you start thinking that way, your actions just naturally start to line up. It changes everything. And I love this idea. Every single thing you do is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Write one sentence? Boom. You just cast a vote for being a writer. Go for a 5-minute walk? That's a vote for being a healthy person. It's not about being perfect. It's just about casting more votes for who you want to be day after day. Okay, this is where it gets super practical. How do we cast those votes? Clear gives us a simple playbook, an operating manual for our brains. It's the 4-step habit code. All right, to build a good habit, it comes down to 4 things. 1, make it obvious. You want to floss? Put the floss right next to your toothbrush. 2, make it attractive. You gotta want to do it. 3, make it easy, like ridiculously easy. Less friction is key. And 4, make it satisfying. Your brain needs that little yak yeah feeling at the end to want to do it again. And here's the really cool part. To break the bad habit, you just flip it. You invert the laws. Make it invisible. Hide the cookies. Make it unattractive. Think about how sluggish you feel after eating junk. Make it difficult. Put the junk food on the highest shelf. Make it unsatisfying. See? It's a perfect system for building the good and breaking the bad. Okay, so you're probably thinking, how can I use this, like, right now? Well, let's talk about my favorite and maybe the most powerful technique from this entire book. It's called the 2-minute rule. And trust me, this little trick is a total game changer. The rule is simple. When you start a new habit, it has to take less than 2 minutes to do. That's it. The whole point is to make it so easy to start that you can't possibly say no. Read before bed turns into read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga? Nope. That just becomes take out my yoga mat. And instead of run 3 miles, your new habit is just tie my running shoes. You see? The point isn't to stop there. The point is to master the art of just showing up. Because let's be real, once your running shoes are on, you're probably going to go for a run. Once the yoga mat is out, you might as well do a few stretches. Momentum is a powerful thing, and this rule makes starting so easy. It's practically automatic. So that brings it all back to you. The magic of this book isn't just knowing the ideas, it's doing them. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the one tiny 2-minute vote you can cast today for the person you really want to become?